at the Indianapolis Colts -3 versus the Chicago Bears, who, as of the time of this reporting, mum's the word. Is it going to be Foles? Is it going to be Trubisky? I gotta think it's going to be Foles. I mean, come on. We've been. I was shocked that they went with Turd Biscuit, who I not so affectionately referred to Trubisky as. Oh, by the way, Chicago fans, I want to remind you, you traded up to get Trubisky when Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson were still on the board. So just a reminder there. Can you imagine the Chicago Bears with Mahomes?
What did you call Trubisky there?
Turd Biscuit.
I think Trash Binsky is a little bit more respectful.
Trash Binsky, I like that. No, I mean, look, dude, like Chicago, Foles has familiarity with Nagy and their time together in Kansas City when he was kind of running up. It's no question. Chicago, Foles is just a passer that can distribute the ball. Chicago has talent. I know Tariq Cohen, they're fearing an ACL tear. I think Chicago is going to pull running back. Here's my bold prediction of the week. I think Chicago signs Spencer Ware, again, familiar with the system based on their time in Kansas City. They need somebody that can catch the ball out of the backfield. They don't want to run Montgomery every play. And I looked at their depth chart last night. Nothing's there that impresses me. So I think they're going to get somebody in. And Devontae Freeman would have been the slam dunk, but he's gone. He got snapped up by the Giants. But Chicago, the move from Trubisky to Foles could have the same impact that the move from Mariota to Tannehill in Tennessee was last year. There's a lot of similarities there. If Foles is the starter, I'm a big buyer on a lot of untapped talent in Chicago. Let me hit you with projections here, David. Look, Chicago's defense, I've been talking them up all year. I'm a buyer on them, and because of that, the computer projections aren't great for Phillip Rivers. I sit him. I'm a start every week at this point on Jonathan Taylor. I think this is a week that Nyheim Hines will get catches because I think they're going to need to use him and neutralize this aggressive Chicago defense. I think TY Hilton's a start. I guess Pittman. I know left the game yesterday. We'll see what his injury status is. I tend to think it's going to be one of these where he misses a week, so that means Zach Pascal for me. Mo Ali-Cox, baby. He's athletic. He's better than Jack Doyle. I like him this week. For Chicago, if Trash Binsky or whatever we're calling him, if Trubisky starts, I'm selling on most of them because Indianapolis' D is legit. If Foles is playing, look, Foles is going to give you the 5 touchdown, no interception week 1 week. Next week he'll give you two touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I get it. But he moves the ball around. So I'm going to hold on Foles as a starting quarterback. Maybe you want to pick him up on waivers, maybe Superflex, certainly. But he breathes life into Montgomery. I love him with Allen Robinson still. I love him even more with Anthony Miller, who has a garbage computer projection, but I think with Foles that significantly boosts. And we saw new life from Jimmy Graham. Yes, Jimmy Graham is still alive. They wheeled him out. They kicked the dust off of him, and he got into the end zone twice last week. This is a different team with Foles at quarterback. What do you think, David?
Well, let's just talk about it. It all comes down to – well, first I got to mention, Matt Nagy, you're saying they haven't even announced Foles as the starter. Did he get a memo from Anthony Lynn like, hey, once you have a clear quarterback situation resolved, make sure you go ahead and say it's not resolved yet? Like, clearly Foles is the guy going forward. The only question is, are we getting Jacksonville Jaguars Nick Foles, or are we getting big Nick Foles?
Yeah, right.
Because it looks like we're getting a big old Nick there, because he came in against Atlanta, and let's talk about what he did. They had 2% percentage winning whatever you call it, projection. It was 2%.
Yeah.
98% of the time they would lose that game. Foles brought him back. Again, the Falcons are just perennial chokers, so you got to give them some of the blame as much as you give Foles the credit.
2 meltdowns in the last 2 weeks, Dallas and Chicago.
Complete
Ridiculous.
meltdowns. Foles, though, 16-29, 188, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick, but 3 touchdowns and 29 attempts. So he came in slinging the ball. He brought Allen Robinson back to life. Anthony Miller now looks like a flex option. You can even use Jimmy Graham now. So I think we got to be excited. Tariq Cohen, it looks like he tore the ACL. So David Montgomery, his stock is going to go up a little bit. I think it's good news across the board for the Bears. I'm worried about the Colts this week. I don't think Phillip Rivers has looked good, really, at any point this year. They don't have a lot of receiving weapons. You talk about Mo Ali-Cox is the number 1 receiving option on this team right now. TY Hilton has been MIA. The Bears have a good pass rush defense. They can get after the quarterback. They're going to really need to lean on Jonathan Taylor this week. So it could be a big Jonathan Taylor week, like we saw last year. Best way to beat these Bears when the Raiders did it. gave Josh Jacobs the ball like 40 times up the gut. Hopefully, if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner, we see that this week against the Bears for the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are two legit teams. I'm a much bigger buyer with Foles at quarterback. Trubisky, if he doesn't play, so everything basically our projections here are going to hinge on the assumption on this podcast that Foles will eventually be named the starter, hopefully earlier in the week, so he can get more reps earlier in the week. But let's go with the line here. So Bovada has Indianapolis -3 versus the Chicago Bears. Who you got?
I'm taking the Bears to win this game, so I'll definitely take them and the points.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a close game. I think Chicago, they're 3-0, and they won 2 of those games with Trubisky, really just playing a half of football in both of those games. And maybe Trubisky would have played a second half well as well. But if Chicago gets off to a fast start and this defense can be rested because of they're not on the field based on this team's inability to get a third down, converted. If they can pin their ears back, if they have like a 2-score lead, they can pin their ears back and rush the quarterback, which is what this defense wants to do. I'm with you. I think Chicago wins, so I'll take the points in this one as well. But that hinges on Foles being the quarterback. Let's move